Okay. So let me start off with my introduction. My name is Miss Uzma Osman, and I have been teaching for more than 2 decades. That's 20 plus years. I have done my master's. I've done 3 masters. I've done my first master's in marketing, my second master's in finance, and then my third master's in English. And apart from that, I've also um, done a couple of courses from State University of Arizona, America, and some other courses, some online, some physical from different places. So I am primarily, my forte is English language, and I also teach sociology, both O and A levels. Apart from that, I also teach global perspectives in research, and basically I have had a lot of experience with different schools and everything. Like I taught at Generations, Army Public, and the Karachi Grammar College, if you've heard of that. Like I taught there for 4 or 5 years, and then my prime association has been with an institute called Meritorious Education Network that basically is, yes, I teach sociology. Definitely, I do. So I am currently working as head of marketing for the network, and I'm also working as head for the Gulshan Ahan College branch, where we have launched Ahan College this year, and I've been associated with WACE and teaching online since even before Corona. So I was teaching online way before 2020 with WACE. Since the very first day of WACE, I've been associated. And I also teach, so WACE also offers A-level classes, right? So I also teach A-levels. So yeah, quite a bit. Okay, so for IGSCE, a couple of things might be valid, but basically, I would suggest that for IGSCE, you have my number, you can contact me, and I can help you separately as well. I don't mind. Okay, free of cost. There is no cost for anybody who's coming through WACE because that's a commitment. So some general things you will definitely find helpful. But if you want my help in addition, like if you're doing like 510, 511, or any other kind of course, like 500, 500 and 1123 are pretty similar. But 510 and 511 and Edexcel, they are slightly different, and I can 100% help you. You just need to message me, and then we can figure out how. Okay, and then somebody asked something else as well. Let me check that. Okay, 500 is perfectly fine. So if you're doing taking today's workshop, 500 and 1123 are like 90%. They're twins, okay? With slight differences. For 500, the differences I will let you know. बहुत tiny differences है, right? And then somebody asked me if 2 classes में सब कुछ हो जाएगा. You see, I am not gonna lie. 2 classes is not a replacement of the whole year, but yes, we will be able to cover all kind of the main topics and everything, and I will tell you exactly what to expect, what's going on, and um you have my number. You can ask me. Don't you have my number? Acha, let me type my number. You can definitely contact me. If you're from WACE, I can help you with anything really regarding English language, of course. Okay, let me send a message to everyone. So I'm sharing my number. If anybody needs additional help, you can just send, don't call me, send me a voice note because I'm pretty occupied, but I will 100% get back to you. Okay, so this is my number. And since you're coming in through WACE, of course, I will help you. You can just contact me if you need help, okay? So that's my number. You can note it down. And this is how you can approach me, basically. This is my WhatsApp number. All right. Okay, so let's begin. So basically, let me share my screen. So my camera is not working, unfortunately. So that's why I couldn't open my camera. You probably don't really need to see me, but my camera isn't working, unfortunately. I don't know. Just Zoom is not detecting it. So it doesn't matter. I have to share my screen with you anyways. So, guys, I like to use this guidebook. It's something that I've compiled. This was compiled when the syllabus for 1123 changed. So I kind of put everything together in one place. The guidebook does have a cost if anybody wants to buy it, but the vocabulary portion is absolutely free. And I will share that on the English workshop group. Okay, I just do that today within the workshop, even when I give you a little task. So the vocabulary part will be shared with you. If you want to take a screenshot, if you want to click a picture with your camera of the screen, that's perfectly fine. Of course, you're at liberty to do that. If you want the booklet, then that has a cost basically, which you probably won't need. This is just, I just use it for my teaching. Okay, let's begin. So we're doing paper 1 today, and paper 1 is basically the reading paper. And it is, of course, a written paper as well. And it is for 2 hours, 50 marks. And there are 2 compulsory questions which have to be answered. There is no element of choice in paper 1. And you get 2 things. Okay, you get an insert. The insert has the passages that you're going to be using to solve your paper. And you're going to get a question paper with lines given for the answers. So 2 things will be given to you. You're not allowed dictionaries, and you should not be carrying fancy stationery like highlighters or anything. Be simple. Just keep a couple of black and blue ballpoints. You can write with either color. And you need to carry a pencil, an eraser, and a sharpener. That's absolutely necessary, because you will need that when you're figuring out your paper, especially for paper 2. So these are all the things that you need. And the kind of text that you should expect are pretty modern. You don't have anything below the 20th century, so you don't need to worry about weird, obsolete English. It's just very modern English. The text could vary. There could be a variety of text types that the examiner might want to give. Maybe 1 year, they give you a narrative where you have to, the questions are extracted from the narrative. Maybe it's a travelogue, maybe it's an article, maybe it's a review. So either of these texts could be basically the passage. It doesn't matter what kind of text is the passage. They just tell you for your information. And then we move on to section A, which focuses on the use of language. Basically, explicit and implicit questions, along with vocabulary, along with writer's craft, are a part of section A. So section A is entirely comprehension, and you are tested on the use of language primarily. This is for 25 marks. There are 2 questions. Okay, there is question 1, basically. In fact, like 3 questions, but that's a summary task. So we'll come to that in a bit. Question 1 is simple comprehension, which requires you to have knowledge of explicit and implicit answers. So we'll look at that in a bit of detail. Let me just tell you that explicit is basically literal. The answer is right there in the text. All you need to do is to read the text and you'll grab the answer immediately, all right? And implicit text is basically inference. You can spend the rest of your life looking for an implicit answer. You will not find it because it's not there. You have to read the text. You have to try and understand the text and then get to the answer. 9:30. Okay, so anybody is asking, what are the 4 new messages? No. We haven't done anything important here. How to improve your, okay, fine. I'll help you with that. That's what we'll talk about. Okay, great. So, the questions, I'll give you some time to kind of ask questions. Let's just get this done with, and then questions are more than welcome. You can send them on chat. Right now, I'm just going to go through the main part first, and then whatever questions, you're 100% welcome to ask me as many questions as you wish to. All right. So the first question, literal and inferential. You can also call them explicit and implicit. Now, don't be worried by these fancy names. Explicit या literal simply means that the answer is written in the text. You can just easily pick it up. 90% of the students, according to the examiner's report, are able to attempt this. Implicit is inferential. Inference means that you have to try and understand the answer through the information given. So it might be a tad bit challenging, but it's not difficult. You can do it easily. 50 to 60% of people who attempt the paper are able to do it. And, the people who aren't, basically, they're just not paying attention, because if you pay attention to the paper, 100% you'll be able to do it. The text that you're dealing with for question 1 is text A, which is a 900 word long piece of text. Question 1 is for 16 marks. Question 2 is an extension of the comprehension task, but it entirely assesses you on the use of language. The use of language is basically the writer's craft. Why has the writer used certain language? What is the purpose behind using a certain word or a phrase or an expression? So we are looking at the effect of the writer's words. And there are a couple of questions here, and they amount to 9 marks. So the bulk of it is pretty easy. A little bit is challenging. So you don't need to worry. It's all doable. You just need to pay attention. Then we come to section B. Section B brings you to question 3, which is a summary task. And a summary task is basically pretty simple. I feel it's really easy because you don't have to really worry about anything other than reading the passage and then understanding what the question is asking you and extracting points from the passage in your own words and then summarizing all of those points in a single paragraph. It's continuous writing, so you don't write points in your summary. Your summary is a single paragraph, 150 to 180 words. And text B is the text that you will be using to write your summary. 550 to 600 words, and this is a 20-mark question. Do you understand the gravity of this particular situation right here with the summary situation going on? Summary task has 20 marks. Just imagine that it's easy, and you can gain easy 20 marks only by following basic instructions. 3B is even easier. 3B is simple. All 3B requires you to do is to assume or take up a role. So they tell you that imagine you are so-and-so character mentioned in the text. What is your point of view about this? So it's a point of view question, interview style. You just have to write a conversational answer, being empathic, considering yourself to be in the place of the character that they're mentioning. Again, easy, 5 marks. How is all of this divided? We will come to that. So that's an overview of paper 1. Please raise your hand. Let me know if you have questions at this point. Acha, I'm moving on now. I'm coming to the more detailed aspects of the paper. So let's start with question 1. So I was talking about literal or explicit, and I told you that don't be worried with these complicated words. You probably know what this means. I'm just assuming that we're all very basic and we don't know anything right now. So I'm just assuming that someone might feel कि explicit क्या चीज आ गई है, literal क्या आ गया. It's simple. The answer is given in the text. You don't have to do anything fancy. You don't have to paraphrase. You don't have to use your own common sense, Zada. You just have to read the question, read the part that they're indicating to, and the answer will be right there. You'll pick up the answer and you will write it down. Kiska incorrect password aa raha hai? So let me just help this person out. They have an incorrect password. Okay. So, for example, if the question is, what is the color of the sky? So the answer will be written just like this. The sky is blue. So you'll just write down the color of the sky is blue. That's it. That's how easy it is. And imagine 16 marks just kind of really easy with explicit and implicit. Then come the inferential questions. Acha, inferential question basically means using your common sense. Okay? The information is going to be there. They will ask you a question, you will read the information, and you will try to come to the answer. For example, uh, they tell you it's cold in the room, for example. And the question is that why does Anna want a blanket? So that will be the question. Why does Anna want the blanket? So in the text, nobody will say Anna wanted the blanket because no. It's just going to be casually mentioned that the weather was cold. So you're going to put two and two together. Oh, Anna wanted a blanket. Oh, it was cold. So she wanted a blanket because it was cold. That's inference. Direct answer will not be given, but the relevant information will be given for you to be able to pick it out. Abhi hum will practice a paper, theek hai? Not a past paper. Past paper sabke paas hai. It's something that I've created, and I also have a couple of other past papers, but khair, we can't do all of them. We'll do one of them. Acha. Then question 3, sorry, I mean, number 3 over here, or the third type of question is the boss of everything. Vocabulary. So for you to be able to do all of the questions, the summary, everything smoothly in life, you need to have very good vocabulary. Vocabulary is key. Vocabulary is absolutely necessary. If you don't have good vocabulary, unfortunately, you will struggle. Okay. Not that you can't do anything about it. You can learn vocabulary. I am going to provide you a handout, which is not the ultimate vocabulary of the world. Zahir hai, we can't memorize the whole dictionary. I can't remember all of the words. Though I'm a teacher, I remember a lot of words, but I definitely don't remember all of the words. Only a tiny part of words I can remember. But there are certain words that Cambridge loves to play around with. You know, there are certain words that you are likely to see in 1, 1, 2, 3, 500 English papers. So that list, if you go through those, you will really find it helpful. You will feel that, you know, things are kind of working out for me right now. So you will be given that and you will be preparing from it. Now, nobody but God can help you when it comes to vocabulary because it's something you have to learn. Okay, I can give you the list or any other teacher can give you the list, but it's you. जिसको मेहनत करनी है, जिसको उसको याद करना है, और याद किस तरह करते हैं vocabulary, we try to look at the word and we try to make sense of it. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब let's say हमने सारी vocabulary पढ़ ली, we do everything, but we still don't get what something means. What are we going to do? Then you are going to plan B. Plan B is contextual meaning. In fact, plan B is the most critical skill a person can have when it comes to vocabulary. So let's say there's a sentence which has the word, any word, I don't know. Let's say the word intended. Okay. So if I don't know what it means, I have to read the whole paragraph. I have to read those couple of lines where intended is written, lines above it, line below it, read it quite a few times and try to get some meaning out of it. What could intended possibly mean in these lines? What is happening with intended? What is this indicating? And the general meaning that I can infer, I can put that down as a contextual meaning. At least that's something that I can do. Cleverly, you can definitely get to the contextual meaning. Okay. I find it really easy to work with contextual meanings because as compared to learning every single word, contextual meanings are really helpful. Like even for contextual meanings, you should have relevant, relatively good vocabulary because in that particular couple of sentences, you will see other words as well, which you should know the meaning of in order to understand that particular word. So basically questions where vocabulary is needed are vital. Apart from that, you also need to understand that vocabulary is also needed for the summary. Vocabulary is also needed for paper 2. So vocabulary is something you cannot escape. Acha, then comes the summary question. Acha, for summary, I'm going to come to the details a bit later when the time comes. Right now, I am going to move on to question 2, talk a little bit about that, and then I'm going to move on to some practice. Without practical experience of these questions, me talking and you listening is not going to help. So what is going to help is that we solve something together. And I have a marking scheme for that as well, which we will share. But first, let's just talk a little bit about question 2. Acha, what is question 2? Question 2, I've told you before, is writer's craft, is the effect. What effect does this have? What is the purpose of the writer's use of so and so word? So basically, यहाँ पे आपको writer के perspective से सोचना है. Okay, you have to be the writer. You have to imagine कि भाई मैं writer हूँ, मैंने अगर ये word use किया है तो क्यों किया है? Why have I used this word? What is the purpose? What is my intention behind using a certain expression? So you are the writer here. So put yourself in their shoes and then try to imagine the situation. You know, this is a very important point to remember. Whenever you're answering question 2, always put yourself in the situation. Even for question 1, some parts of question 1, put yourself in place of the characters as well. Not only the writer, put yourself in place of the character and then imagine how would you feel? What would you do? What would you think? So when you put yourself in place of the character, you are bound to get the answer. ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि आपको answer समझ ना आ रहा. हाँ, you choose to be stupid, वो आपकी मर्जी है. But it is doable. It is easy. It is perfectly doable. Okay, now let's get to my main objective, which is to get you guys practicing. Let's move on. So I could have picked a specimen paper, but most teachers, most schools already go through that. I did that in my physical workshop because wahan ke bachas had not even done the specimen paper. But I would like to do this one with you guys. Acha. This is a passage. Now, what I would like you to do, I would like you to take a picture because you'll need to read it and then I'll open the questions. The ice cave. Acha, I've given you a shorter passage here because we have limited time. And I want to get through all of these questions. So please click a picture. Okay, I'm assuming that you're done. Now let's go to the questions. Now, how to approach it? So step 1 is to skip and skim the passage. What do I mean by skip and skim? Very quickly run through the passage. Very quickly, just read it. Yes, Aditi, you have a question.
Could you please present the passage more clearly? I need to take a picture.
All right. Can you see it like this or... Acha, wait. Shall I... Let me share it on the workshop group. Would that be better? Yeah, I think it would be. Give me a sec. Let me just share it there. Okay, so I am sharing this on, you know, the workshop wala group. Here you go. So the passage and the questions are on the workshop wala group. So if you are on that group, you can access it. Gee, someone else has a hand up. Oh, no, it's just Aditi. All right. I'm just going to quickly go through the questions that... Okay. So the PDF of the booklet, unfortunately, that's something that I use for my teaching guide. But I can share the other parts which I feel you'll be able to use. Okay. Like vocabulary, and I've shared the passage as well. I don't mind sharing that. So the passage and the questions are there with you guys as well. Let's go back quickly to what we were looking at. Acha ji. So everybody has the passage. Now let's come to the questions very quickly. Question 1, part A. In what way does the entrance to the ice cave take the author's breath away? Now, this is basically a very, very literal, explicit questions. Iska answer wahi likha hua hai passage mein. What does the entrance to the ice cave, sorry, in what way does the entrance to the ice cave take the author's breath away? So we'll go back to the passage and we will look at the part where they talk about the entrance, and we will try to look for the answer. So I'm giving you a minute, you'll note it down, and then we will look at the answers together. The questions are also on the group, okay? The passage is there as well, the questions are there as well. So it's right there in the first sentence, okay? They're usually in order. Is there anybody who wants to raise their hand and share the answer perhaps with everyone? Kind of suggest what the answer could be. What took the breath away? What is that factor? Anybody wants to contribute an answer? You can type it if you want.
Hello, ma'am, can you
Yes,
hear me?
I can. Yes, I can hear you.
The answer is the shear scale of ice.
100%. Brilliant. Absolutely. Good. Very good. Acha, let's move on. So that should take you like 2 minutes. Now let's move on to part B, which should also take you somewhere around 2 to 3 minutes. Using your own words, explain what the text means by the ice surrounding us glowed with an ethereal blue light. Now, what do we need to do over here is what we should understand first. So they're asking you to use your own words. Okay, I got that. Now, they give you a phrase. The phrase has a lot of words. The ice surrounding us glowed with an ethereal blue light. How do you know which two words you have to change primarily into your own words? You can change everything in your own words, but there are two words, sometimes three, but basically two, that they want you to convert in your own words. Now, how do you know कि दो words ही करने हैं? Because it's for 2 marks. Okay, you look at the marks. The marks tell you how many. So if it's for 2 marks, it means that 2 words must be there which absolutely need to be changed. So ice will remain ice. Surrounding is too easy to change. Glowed, ethereal. These are the 2 words that you should change in your own words. So what are you doing right now? You're paraphrasing. Write this expression down into your own words. That's all they're asking you to do. So glowed, you need a word or a synonym that explains glowed, and you need something for ethereal. Ethereal also needs, ethereal is a difficult word. Okay, I will say that it's kind of like a high tariff word, not very easy, but just imagine the situation. You're looking at this. What kind of movie have you seen this in? What was happening in that movie? Imagine Frozen, right? Elsa could do magic. That could hint you what ethereal could possibly mean. Okay? So give it a go. And then you can raise your hand, you can contribute the answer as well, and then we will move on. If you have already done it, you can move on to part C. Part C is basically literal. Give two features of the ice formations in the cave that contribute to their dazzling beauty. So the answer is right there in the text. The two features are written in the text. You just have to pick it up and write down the two features. Now, make sure you only use the lines that are given. Don't exceed the lines given. Don't write in the margins. Don't write anywhere other than the given lines. If you make a mistake, cross it out neatly with a pencil or a pen. Put a scale through it. And then above it, you can write your answer very neatly. Or there may be a blank page. There is a blank page right at the end of the answer, where you're answering, and you can write down the question number and write the answer. But that is only in a very dire situation where there is no other option and you have messed up. Okay? Otherwise, these lines are sacred. These are holy lines. Please respect them. Don't write here and there. Acha, anybody who wants to share the answer? Okay, I'll check the chat as well. Okay, good. Acha, surreal and ethereal sort of are similar, but the examiner might accept that happily. Okay, good. Okay. Yes, it could be phenomenal for him. Yep. Okay, very good. So I see a very good answers. Very good. Mars also had a good answer. Brilliant. So basically, glowed could be emit, and ethereal is anything to do with magic or mystery. Okay, phenomenal is fine as well. You can definitely accept that. Or if you want to say radiating instead of glowed, you can do that. Or instead of ethereal, you can say out of some other planet, otherworldly, some other dimension, maybe some other out of this world. That can also be used to explain your answer. Okay? Okay, good. Now let's quickly come to part C. I'm rushing a bit through it because that's how much time it takes. Don't spend additional time on these, पर आपका paper कैसे पूरा होगा? So timing is key as well. Time yourselves when you're practicing. Acha, give two features of the ice formations in the cave that contribute to their dazzling beauty. Acha, in the exam, they will mention which lines you're supposed to be looking at. Okay, this is just kind of like a class practice. So I've just made it very simple because the passage is shorter as well. So what features of the ice formations contribute to the beauty? So look carefully and then try to come up with your answers. And how do you actually hint about it? You go to the passage and you read the part that talks about what is happening. So if you look at this particular paragraph, like this is the third paragraph right here, look at the part, look at the second line, and it should give you a hint. And we're talking about ice formations. We're not talking about waterfalls and anything else. यहाँ पे किसकी बात हो रही है? Ice formations. So look at the adjectives that have been used for ice formation. This right here. What adjectives have been used? Look here, glittering. Look here, refracted and reflected the light in dazzling patterns. So this should give you a hint about the features of these formations. Okay. Okay. Acha. See, some confusion. You will get confused, but just understand question में किसकी beauty की बात हो रही है. The labyrinth and all of that, that's not related to the formations. The question is asking you what features are contributing to the dazzling beauty of the ice formations. So ice formation की तो बात ही इधर हो रही है. Look. When they're talking about ice formations, look at the adjectives, glittering, refracted, reflected. This basically should be what you're writing. ठीक है? अब the thing is that we need to read the question very carefully. Whose beauty is being talked about? What are we talking about? What is the subject? The subject here is ice formations. We're talking about the beauty of the ice formations. So be very careful with that. Acha, let's move on. Give two details that show the immense size of the underground lake. Now we're talking about the size of the underground lake. So you need to find a point where they're talking about the lake. And if you look at this paragraph and then suddenly you will find that they're talking about the lake. And then look for adjectives that describe the lake, the size of the lake. So if you look at this, vast ground, underground lake. So vast tells you that it's huge. It's bloody huge. So vast is going to tell you that. And then a relentless roar. अब roar कौन करता है? चूहा करेगा कि lion करेगा? Lion करेगा, वो बड़ा होता है, तो उसकी आवाज भी बड़ी होती है. It's a roar. ठीक है? अब वो squeal भी कह सकते थे, but they use the word roar to tell you that it's gigantic, it's huge. So these are the two pieces of information that talk to you about the size of the river. Okay. Why am I guiding you and directing you to the answers? I'm trying to teach you how to look for answers. Okay. Acha. Explain what the author means by we had stumbled into a hidden world. अच्छा, अब ये आ गया own words. ठीक है, अब ये technically 2 marks का होता है. I just put it down for 1 mark because this is just practice. ठीक है, exam में आपको ये 2 marks का ही मिलता है because there are 2 words, stumbled and hidden. 2 words हैं जिनको आपने change करना है अपने words में. तो अच्छा, अब hidden तो easy है, unseen हो गया, ठीक है, secret हो गया. Stumbled क्या होता है? Stumbled is a word which is associated with movement. ठीक है, अब अगर आपको stumbled का मतलब नहीं पता, you will have difficulty. Stumbled means to come across surprisingly. ठीक है, कि आप जा रहे थे and suddenly you bump into something, you just come across something, you just discover something by surprise. So it's kind of like that. ठीक है, ये discover कर लिया. Stumbled into something is also that you discovered it. मतलब पहले से नहीं पता था आपको कि वो वहां है. ठीक है, it wasn't there. So that's how you will explain it. So question 1 continues right here. अच्छा, अब feeling वाला थोड़ा सा question आ गया. How does the author feel about the sound of the rushing water? How does the writer feel? And then you need to give 2 supporting details from the text. तो हमें पहले तो राइटर की फीलिंग को ढूंढना है एंड देन किस तरह हमें पता चल रहा है कि उसकी ये फीलिंग है. लेट्स गो टू द टेक्स्ट एंड सर्च टुगेदर. अच्छा, अब फीलिंग उसकी कहाँ आ रही है? Let's find his feeling. अच्छा, feeling वाले questions might not give you the line number anyways, वो आपको थोड़ा सा देखना पड़ेगा. अच्छा, look at the last paragraph. We stood there, frozen in awe. Awe means you are mesmerized. ठीक है? So the feeling is of awe and wonder. लेकिन जब हम ये लिख रहे होते हैं, so please make sure you use your own words for this particular feeling. So if he's feeling in awe, you need to find a synonym to write in your answer. If you don't, you may not get the 1 mark for this. So you have to explain it in your own words. So awe basically means हैरत से, हैरान परेशान, wonder. You know, you're just amazed. So they were amazed. Instead of awe, I can use amazed. What is the proof of that? The proof is, you have to look for the proof. Look, go back. If we go back to the previous, the sound of the water was almost deafening. That can be a proof that they were amazed. A relentless roar that seemed to vibrate through every cell in our bodies. That can also be something that leaves you amazed. So these are two evidences that you can pick up. Acha. The thing is that in the question, they are asking you, if you look at the question, they're asking you, how does the author feel about the sound of the rushing river? So we're only focusing on his feelings, ya jo evidences hai regarding sound. So the sound wale elements, see, he had a lot of feelings otherwise, but we're only talking about the sound, and the sound is right here. Deafening, seem to vibrate through every cell in our body. So you have to read the question and try to understand what is going on. Acha, let's move further. What does the author compare the ice formations to in the cave? So you're looking for a simile right here, right? You're looking for something. Acha, these are basically writer's craft questions as well. What does the author compare the ice formations to in line 16? Acha, don't worry too much about the line number. We are looking for what he is comparing the ice formations to and what effect does this comparison have on the reader? So let's see, what is he comparing the ice formations with? Let's have a look. Let's go back and see when he saw the ice formation. So here he's talking about the ice formations. Like 1,000 tiny fingers. You know what like is? Like and as are used for similes. When you compare one thing with the other, that's a literary device. You call this a simile because it's like, or even if they have used as, you can call it a simile. But right here, he is comparing these formations with 1,000 tiny fingers. Why is he comparing it? What kind of image is it creating? Now that is inference. What image is this creating? Just imagine, he hasn't said 1,000 fingers. He said 1,000 tiny fingers. So छोटे बच्चों की उंगलियां tiny होती है ना. So look at your fingers and look at the fingers of like a 6-month-old. What is the difference? Your fingers, your hands are stronger. Tiny fingers are delicate, you know, they're very intricate. So the writer is hinting towards delicacy, intricacy. This could be a little tough, but again, imagination. सोचो ये tiny fingers लिखा है तो क्यों लिखा है? Regular for fingers भी लिख सकता था, tiny ना लिखता. Just imagine the emphasis, just imagine the purpose. So that is the tricky part, but you need to kind of understand that and get to it. Acha. Explain using your own words the author's overall impression of the ice cave. Give 3 details from anywhere in the text to support your answer. So basically, you are looking for the writer's overall impression. So हम वही लिख सकते हैं कि he was in awe, he was in amazed, he was very amazed, and you can take evidence from anywhere in the text, because right here they're not talking about a particular thing in the ice cave, they're talking about the ice cave in general. So how did he feel? You can even say that, he felt totally blown away. He felt that it was magical. So any of that kind of feeling, impression could be written, and you need 3 evidences. Now, what are evidences? The words that you can quote from the text that support your idea. Like, look at this, took my breath away. That's one evidence that he was amazed and marveled at the frozen waterfalls. That could also be this part here. That could also be an evidence. left us gasping in amazement. That could also be basically an evidence. So all of these are evidences, and there are more. You need 3 over here. Okay. Now let's go back to what you guys are saying, and let me ask you, is it all clear up till now? The recording will be available, but I'm not sure. You'll have to talk to the admin how to access it, okay? But it will be available. This is being recorded. Acha ji, anybody has a question at this point? Koi sawal, anything at all? Pooch lo if there is any sawal, any question, any confusion, ask. Okay,
Ma'am, this was paper 1 or paper 2?
paper one है ना Waleed?
Yes,
अच्छा,
ma'am.
ठीक है, paper 1 है. अच्छा, I'm looking at
मैम
answers. जी बेटे बोलो प्लीज.
जनरली हम राइटर्स क्राफ्ट वाले जो पार्ट है उसको कैसे इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं?
राइटर्स क्राफ्ट को जनरली बेटे इम्प्रूव करने के लिए बहुत अच्छी आपकी वोकैबुलरी होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, पेपर 2 ज्यादा मुश्किल, देखो मुश्किल मैं बताऊं कुछ नहीं होता, सही है. सब आसान है. अच्छा फरदीन, आपके सवाल पे मैं भी आती हूँ. लेट मी आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन. राइटर्स क्राफ्ट को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए बच्चे वोकैबुलरी, ठीक है, वोकैबुलरी समझ लो कि आई डोंट वांट टू यूज अ क्रेजी एग्जांपल, बट इट्स काइंड ऑफ लाइक मतलब सेक्रेड है ना, कि बस ये करना ही है ना, कुरान है तो अरबी में पढ़नी है ना. तो इट्स काइंड ऑफ लाइक दैट कि वोकैबुलरी करनी है और हर हाल में आपने वो करनी है. ठीक है, वोकैबुलरी जितनी तुम अच्छे, राइटर्स क्राफ्ट खुद समझ आने लगेगा. राइटर्स क्राफ्ट है ही सारा वोकैबुलरी. वोकैबुलरी अच्छी है तो राइटर्स क्राफ्ट भी समझ आना शुरू हो जाएगा. ठीक है, तो वोकैबुलरी अच्छी करो. मैं भी आपको हैंड आउट भेज रही हूँ, सारे उन चीजों को प्रैक्टिस करो, देखो, हो जाएगा. अनदर ट्रिक इज टू पुट योर सेल्फ इन द सिचुएशन कि अगर मैं यहाँ गई हुई हूँ ग्लेशियर्स में, देख रही हूँ आइस केव है, जो भी है, हाउ डू आई फील, यू नो, व्हाट वुड बी गोइंग थ्रू माई माइंड. या जैसे अभी हमने इमेजिन किया कि भाई ये कौन सी मूवी में अगर ऐसा था कैसे फील होता, या टाइनी बच्चों का हार्ट टाइनी होता है. सो यू कैन काइंड ऑफ टॉक about all of this in your brain and then try to understand the situation. Yes, you do need to know about literary devices. वो मैं आपको अभी जो document दे रही हूँ ना, उसमें 20 most common devices हैं with 10 examples of each. ठीक है. अच्छा, और भी कुछ सवाल थे, पहले मैं let me answer those ना जिसने पहले पूछे थे.
मैम एक और सवाल था.
पूछो बेटा.
मैम मेरे मॉक्स में आई गॉट अ बी इन इंग्लिश और उसको अब ए या ए स्टार लाने के लिए व्हाट इम्प्रूवमेंट शुड बी नीडेड?
मैं वही बात बताऊंगी, वोकैबुलरी. उसको एक तो पास पेपर, जितने भी पास पेपर्स हैं आपके पास बेटा, सबको प्रैक्टिस करो. वॉट एवर इज अवेलेबल, प्रैक्टिस ऑल ऑफ दोज पास पेपर्स, वोकैबुलरी करो. इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू डू द वोकैबुलरी. आपका ऑटोमेटिकली पेपर 2 का ग्रेड भी लिफ्ट हो जाएगा, आपका पेपर 1 का ग्रेड भी लिफ्ट हो जाएगा. ठीक है, बिकॉज वोकैबुलरी दोनों में चाहिए. वोकैबुलरी मुझे लगता है मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है किसी भी लैंग्वेज के पेपर के लिए, उर्दू हो या इंग्लिश. दूसरी चीज है फॉर्मेट्स. इफ यू आर स्पेसिफिकली टॉकिंग अबाउट पेपर 2, फॉर्मेट्स है. ठीक है, फॉर्मेट्स भी अभी हम जब पेपर 2 की वर्कशॉप करेंगे तो आई गिव यू अ हैंड आउट, मैं आपको भेज दूंगी ग्रुप पे फॉर द फॉर्मेट्स. फॉर्मेट्स अच्छे होने चाहिए, आपके मार्क्स वहां नहीं कटेंगे. यू शुड नो हाउ टू राइट इट. वोकैबुलरी अच्छी होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, सो दीज आर अ कपल ऑफ
मैम
थिंग्स.
फिर हम पेपर करके आपको भेज दूँ इन कैम स्कैन करके या पीडीएफ फॉर्म में, तो आप चेक कर देंगे?
सॉरी बेटे, दोबारा बोलो.
मैंने कहा मैम अगर आपको कैम स्कैन करके या इन पीडीएफ फॉर्म अगर हम आपको भेज दें पेपर
I'll check
सॉल्व
it. I
करके,
will.
तो आप
I will. I will. हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल you can. ठीक है, if you want me to check something, I can do that for you. सही है. अच्छा, somebody asked कि 14 days में कैसे प्रिपेयर करें. इस तरह प्रिपेयर करें कि वोकैबुलरी सारी करनी है अच्छे से, फॉर्मेट्स करने हैं और पास पेपर्स करने हैं, और दिन रात आपने, आई अंडरस्टैंड यू हैव अदर एग्जाम्स एज वेल, तो अब 24 घंटे तो आप इंग्लिश नहीं पढ़ सकते, बट एटलीस्ट 3 hours डेली यू विल हैव टू डेडिकेट टू इंग्लिश. ठीक है. I think of सबकी favors and mocks and everything are over. So now get to business. जी Aditi.
Miss, even though my friend's vocabulary is good, he still got a B. What should he
Mhm.
do? Like, what should he improve?
Okay, now that depends on where he lost the marks. So his vocabulary is really good. What about the formats? Has he learned the formats? What about his summary writing? Does he know how to write an accurate summary? So vocabulary to aapne kar li, well and good. Uh, if you can send me, Aditi, you are on the our other group as well. So if you want, you can send
Yes.
me paper, images of the
Yeah.
paper, and I'll kind of point out ke masla kya hai, and then I can guide him accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Summary में अच्छा summary की बात हम करेंगे अभी summary पे. Let's see if there are any other questions. Sure. Yes, you can, beta. You can. If you have my number, you can send me social queries as well. No worries at all. ठीक है?
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. I had a
वालेकुम
question. Our syllabus
अस्सलाम.
just recently changed, तो हमें
Yeah.
कौन-कौन से past papers use करने चाहिए?
Only the specimen and 2024 papers only. That is it. You cannot use anything from 2023 and backwards. You can only use what is available 2024, unfortunately very limited, and the specimen paper. That's all you have. But if you do that carefully, if you do that very carefully, you should be good. Okay, but don't even bother practicing anything um, uh, before 2024. Even narrative and descriptive styles have changed. Even directed writing has changed. Everything has changed. So they have kind of revamped the whole paper. So there is no, if you want additional practice, please use 500 as a course code. Yes, Nawal, it is probably. So if you really want practice, 500 is a course code. Search for 500 IGSCE English past papers and practice 500, both paper 1 and paper 2. And people who are doing 500, they can of course practice their own papers, but they can also use 2024 1123 papers, and they can use the specimen for 2024 1123. Okay, so that's what you can possibly use.
And
Acha.
ma'am, can you please share some worksheet for writer's effect specifically?
Writer's effect specifically, I will. Acha, I am going to be sending a couple of things tomorrow on the group. So I'll send some more worksheets for writer's craft. 100% I will. But tomorrow, inshallah. So the group is there because we still have like paper 2 tomorrow. So in the morning, inshallah, I'll be sending a lot of resources when I'll be in my office. I will have time. So I'll send all of the resources there for you guys. Whatever possible, I will send it all there. You have to join the group. Yes, please join the group because, you know, all of the things I'll be sending there. Javeria, do you have a question? Okay, Javeria, you can type it. If you're not comfortable speaking, that's fine. You can type it. Everybody can maybe benefit from what you have to say. I'll read out your question. Acha, anybody else has a question? Otherwise, we will move on to practicing question 2. Can I share the group link? Acha, and how do you join the group? Okay, so अच्छा देखो threshold Fardeen varies every year. Last year's जो last paper था October November, my quite a few of my students gave that paper. The threshold was quite high, but for June July, it's usually lighter. So I feel you guys are in a better place. अच्छा, the group link. अच्छा Javeria, the thing is that I understand you must be practicing for other things as well. कुछ तो time English को Javeria आपको देना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? Without that, it's going to be very difficult, ठीक है? वो फिर बगैर practice के तो हो ही नहीं सकता. Summary में कितने number आने चाहिए at this point? At this point, summary में 19 आने चाहिए ताकि थोड़ा और practice करके, you know, 90, अच्छा sorry, it's, अगर total बात कर रहे हो 3A and 3B, then 19. If you're only talking about 20 marks, then you should be getting somewhere around 16 to go up to that level. अच्छा, अब group का link, let me quickly figure this out. Group का क्या link है? अच्छा, there are 2 requests to join as well. I'm gonna let you join. अच्छा, the thing is, I think the moderator can allow you to join the group, or you can send me your number and I will add you. You know, you have my number. I've shared my number with you. So send me your number later, not right now. Right now we have a workshop. So you can send me your number later and I'll add you to the group. Okay. Acha, someone has a question? Okay, you want a ठीक है, I can make a planner, but that you'll be all of these. अच्छा, let me write this down. ठीक है, let me put this down. You want a kind of a, yes, you can. You can get it checked by ChatGPT. There's no harm in that. लेकिन ChatGPT ज़्यादा होशियार हो जाते हैं. That's the only thing. But you can get it checked by ChatGPT. I mean, at least he can, he or she, whatever. I have this bad habit of using the wrong pronoun. So it basically will at least correct you for grammar. ठीक है? And get you for, spellings and grammar and things like that. At least that. Acha, planner, I'm putting this down in the workshop group, so I remember that I need to. So what somebody has asked, that if a planner could be given, kind of like a practice schedule. So I'll help out with that. Acha, Arisha, you have raised your hand, bete.
Yeah, so I had this question that some kids do this, that they like memorize some narrative and then they just mold that narrative and write that in their CIS.
Oh, no.
Would you suggest?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You can memorize expressions, you can memorize vocabulary, but you absolutely cannot memorize one narrative and write around it. I'm giving you my 100% advice that no, don't do that. It's not going to work. People have tried that. It is not going to work because examiners know. I have been an examiner. I have checked papers and we knew immediately that this is happening, and I gave even more worst marks than I would have given them. That's the thing. So you don't do that. Just vocabulary याद कर लो, learn the vocabulary, हो जाएगा narrative. और हम जब आएंगे paper 2 पे, we will practice. अच्छा, number अगर कोई अभी भेज रहा है for me to add you, please send the number on my personal WhatsApp जो मैंने आपको दिया है, ठीक है? उस पे डाल दो please. Yes, Arisha.
Also, is there like any compromise on narrative writing, word limit? Like, how far can we push it?
Okay, so you can't go further than 10 words. You know what happens? It's no -1, -2. It doesn't work like that. It only works in a way that, they don't read beyond. So if 450 is the limit, they will maximum go up to 470. But let me tell you very honestly, they are not going to cater to you beyond that, and they cross it out. Okay? And when they cross it out, it automatically means that whatever you have written after that will not be checked. And let's say you wrote your resolution and your, moving towards the climax or whatever, jo bhi kuch bhi reh gaya. So that's not going to be checked. Yes, they do. Fardeen examiners are very strict about the marking, the word count, very. They cross it out. Or these are electronically checked as well. So word counts are calculated electronically as well. They do go through a machine.
Acha, ma'am, if the word count is less than that then
Acha. Okay, if it's less than that, the examiner will read your work, and maybe you wrote the narrative very well with all of the 5 elements of the narrative, with good vocabulary, with dialogues, and everything worked well. That's fine. You can still get marks, but it's not possible mainly that you write less and then you get more in, because there are 3 dialogues that have to be added. There is literal devices that have to be added. So technically you can, but it's not advisable. Okay? The 5 elements means the plot diagram, which we'll do in paper 2. Everything will be shared. Paper 2 की बातें paper 2 वाले दिन, ठीक है? अच्छा. Paper 2 is tomorrow, yes. Acha, Uneza, sorry. Umeza, you have your hand up. And Aditi, I'll come to you after Umeza. Ji, Umeza. Okay, Umeza, you have your hand up. Do you have a question? Acha, I'll move to Aditi then.
Miss, how do you think I can improve my summary?
You can improve your summary by following the steps for summary writing, which basically means that you need to understand what you are actually summarizing, what you're looking for. Okay, and once you ascertain that, you highlight the points with a pencil, then you make a note of them. While you're copying down those points, you change them into your own words, and then you put them together using two important tools. The two vital tools are complex sentences and transition words. Okay, we'll come to that in a bit. I don't even think we'll have enough time today. Acha, Aditi, you have a question as well?
Yes, miss, but if the word count is exceeded and the last paragraph makes sense or the last few lines make sense, don't they count?
They will. If it makes sense and if they feel that, the overwriting is not essentially missing your, those things out which were needed, then it's fine. Okay? As long as everything makes sense, they are not stingy. They're pretty lenient with everything. लेकिन we do try कि हम अपने word count पे नजर रखें. ठीक है? अच्छा. Yes, we are trying to definitely do the summary today. I will probably have to do that. I think we might need a third session on Wednesday. Okay, but I'll have to ask the admin. That's the problem. Okay. Acha, anybody else has a question? Or hum jaldi se move on kare. You cannot write or underline on the insert. You can, but then you just rub it out with a pencil. Okay. You do that. You will have to use a pencil. But then you rub it out. That's why I told you don't take any highlighter or anything fancy. Time pressure, no, not really. Time, I think it's pretty comfortable. You'll be fine. You'll have like 5 to 10 minutes to spare for review. You'll be good. I don't think time will hurt you. The only thing that can hurt you is wasting time on something which you don't understand. Let's say you don't know 1G. Leave it. Move on. Okay? Moving on is very important. Acha, let's get to, I'm getting back to the document. I want to take you through very quickly through question 2 and then thoda sa summary, and then I can give you homework of summary and you can share it with me so I can check your work. Acha. Acha ji, let's come here. Acha, question 2 very quickly. Acha, so in question 2, they usually just give you little extracts or words from the text right here, and you just need to answer the question related to it. Like the first part, A, will be a little extract and you will be asked to talk about the tone or the situation of the story at this point. So these questions remain pretty much standard. So look at the specimen paper and that's exactly how the pattern of the questions will be. So A will always ask you about the situation. Now, for example, if you look at this one, the ice surrounding us glowed with an ethereal blue light as if the very heart of the glacier was radiating an otherworldly energy. What does the writer want to suggest about the situation? Now, basically, if you're looking at this, you will understand the situation at this point was that of kind of like a magical situation. A situation where everything looked as if it was not real. It was some other kind of reality, something out of the world. And the situation is very, very intense right now. So this is the kind of answer that they are basically looking for, okay? And it's just a 1-mark answer. So you are not expected to overwrite. You're just expected to write very briefly and explain. So it's kind of like a supernatural or mystical kind of a situation going on right now. If you look at B, explain why the writer uses the word relentless rather than loud. So remember when the writer was talking about the water, so the writer used relentless instead of loud. So relentless basically suggests that, a relentless means non-stop, something that doesn't stop. Loud is just a very simple word, which means loud, but relentless means non-stop. It was so intense and fierce that it wouldn't stop. So that's why the writer uses relentless. I'm just trying to help you understand how to go about this. Then C will always be a question that will ask you, what two impressions does the writer want to convey? Now, this is not difficult. All you need to do is to explain this in your own words. That's it. So to confuse you, they are playing with the words. What two impressions does the writer want to convey to the reader in the sentence? Don't worry. All they're asking you is to explain this in your own words. We stood there, frozen in awe as the water thundered and boomed under us. All you need to do is to explain. So we stood there in wonder, the overwhelming power of the water was evident. So that's all. Explain it in your own words. And then if you look at D, they ask you to look at a sentence and tell what is the effect that is being created. It was as if we had stumbled into a hidden world, a secret realm of ice and water that few humans had ever seen. What effect does the writer suggest about the tree by using the word hidden? So hidden, sorry, not tree, I think it's a typo. So the writer is basically trying to tell you that this is something that is hidden, something that is a secret. Okay, hidden, the word has already been used, so we'll use a word like secret, something that has not been uncovered, something unknown, something inaccessible to humans, something that is exclusive. So that's basically what is trying to be explained by the writer. Then similarly, part E again requires you to have absolutely good vocabulary, because part E will require you to pick out a phrase and explain it in your own words. Now, when you're picking out a phrase, of course, you need to understand that it has to be from here, and the phrase should be changed into your own words. So these were some practice questions for question 2. I do suggest you solve the specimen paper. If we do get a chance to get a session on Wednesday, we will do the whole specimen paper. The specimen paper also has a couple of other questions, like a question where a character's feelings are required. So how to detect the feeling and how to provide evidence for the feeling, that question is also important, okay? And I can show you that, but we can do that separately on Wednesday. Today, let's move quickly on to the summary. Okay? Acha. For the summary, I just need to explain to you a couple of things related to what exactly summary writing is. And without that, you might have a little bit of difficulty. So let's have a look very quickly. We Okay, summary writing process is on page 32. Okay. So yeah, these are the, vocabulary things which I'll be sharing. Now let's look at the summary writing process quickly. So summary writing is for 20 marks for 3A and 5 marks for 3B. It has to be a continuous form of writing. It has to be a paragraph. It has to be in your own words. 80% of your summary should definitely be in your own words. The word limit is 150 to 180. Now, how are those 20 marks divided? They're simply divided into 10 and 10. You get 10 marks for 10 correct content points. So as long as your content points are correct, you get 10 marks. The 10 other marks are basically for using your own words, using the right tools like complex sentences, transition words, and also accurate grammar and spelling, of course. Now, when you're attempting 3A, you do need to understand that you will read the question first. Without reading the question, you will not understand what you're supposed to be summarizing. So you will read the question carefully, identify exactly what you're looking for, whatever you're focusing on. With a pencil, you can underline those content points. Now, in total, there are 13 to 14 content points given in the text. You need 10, but just to be on the safe side, let's say you get one wrong, I would go for 11 to 12 content points, and I will just stick the ones that I want to use. Now, while you're selecting the final points that you want to include in your summary, be careful of something called repetition. Don't use points that have been repeated. For example, if there is a passage about fast food and how fast food impacts our lives, maybe one point is that fast food leads to obesity. And then there is another point that you can gain a lot of weight by eating excessive fast food. Technically, these 2 points are the same. They're talking about the same thing. They just worded differently. In this scenario, you will only use one of these because they're conveying a similar meaning. So you will eliminate one of them to avoid repetition. This is something you need to be very careful with. Once you have decided which points are not really being repeated, you will make a list of those points. You'll write plan with the pencil on the answer sheet, and you'll copy down these 10 or 11 or whatever points you want to add. But while you're copying, make sure you change the points in your own words. You paraphrase. Once you have done that, once you're sure, you will decide which points can be grouped together. By grouped together, I mean which points can be written in a single sentence and they're talking about the same theme, not the same idea, the same theme. Let's say I'm talking about fast food impact on people's lives. And when I'm talking about health, all of the points that are related to health can be grouped together by using subordinating conjunctions. What are subordinating conjunctions? They are basically a list of words that can be used to combine one complete idea or one idea with the other. Now, this is actually a very detailed topic, which if we have time, we can continue in the next class as well. And transition words. Transition words will allow you to link one sentence to the other. Transition words are basically words that allow a flow. Furthermore, in addition, however, firstly, conclusively, on the other hand, these are all called transition words. They help you connect different sentences together. And remember, the summary will be a single paragraph. You don't need an introduction or a conclusion, but yes, when you're starting your summary, the first sentence should definitely indicate the first point and what the summary is going to be about. After every couple of lines, I do suggest you count the words and write adjacent to the text in pencil to make sure you are aware of the words that you're writing. And in the end, of course, you will have an approximate word count, and it should not exceed 180. This is basically your summary writing process. 3B is where you will be asked to assume a role. You will be asked to be one of the characters from text B, and then you will be asked a question and you will be required to answer the question from the character's perspective. And you have to give your opinion. So give one opinion, elaborate your opinion using 2 examples, and then make sure that you're using your own words. Don't copy things from the text. Yes, the information has to be from the text, but don't copy. And it should take you somewhere around 10 minutes and around 100 words, not more. The word limit for this is not specified, but I'm just giving you an approximate number. You can use contractions, you can use first person because it's an interview. The person is talking about their point of view. So I will be used. Okay, it's some person talking, so it's going to be conversational. So these are some tips for summary. And if you want the summary task, let's just go to the page where the summary task is, and I can assign you the task to do at home. Paper 1 practice tasks are on page 40. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let me just share this on the group along with the question. Okay, so I've shared both practice of 3A and 3B on the group. Okay, there are 2 requests to join. Okay, so have a look at these. The summary question has the passage and then the instructions. And then there is also 3B that you need to do. So have a look at this, and there is a sample summary for this as well, and that will be shared, which you can basically go through. Okay, so the thing is that you will need to get practicing, and okay. You have almost 45 minutes left after completing paper 2. Is this okay? Well, you see, maybe you're very fast. Okay, I'm also very fast when I'm writing, so I do get a lot of time left if I'm writing something. However, my advice would be that you go back, you review your paper thoroughly, and you see if anything may have been left out. Make sure you're following whatever instructions were given to you, but it's fine. That is possible. How do you do corrections? You keep a pencil with you when you're correcting your work, and you cross out things with a pencil, and then you use a pen to write the corrected form. How do you need, acha, how much do you need to score will depend on the threshold. Okay. So I can't really say how much exactly because every year it changes. But yes, out of 50, somewhere around 40, 39, 40. Conjunctions and special, yes, they can. I will be sharing that with you tomorrow. Yes, you can make a rough draft, but would you have enough time to convert that rough draft into the final version? That is a question. Some people write with a pencil and then they pen it out neatly. Crazy people like me would do that, but I don't know if everybody can manage the time. Acha. Yes, I will reshare it. I will reshare it. Vocabulary. Acha, wait. Let me reshare the task first. Okay, wait. Acha. So I shared. Okay, so I've shared the summary thing in the group. And okay, you're asking about vocabulary. Acha, vocabulary, let me share quickly. Question 1, how many parts does question 1 have? Acha, if you look at the sample questions that I shared, basically all of the parts were mentioned. Like question 1 has A, B, C, D, E, F. F has a couple of parts, G, H, basically till H. Okay, Arif, for 3B, don't develop your own points. Please use the points from the passage only. You need to write at least 10 points, Dua. If not more, at least 10 points should definitely be there. Acha, let me share the vocabulary very quickly because specifically asked for. Acha, the vocabulary bank also has literal devices, okay? So, okay, here you go. This is the vocabulary. Acha, anything else? Part B has not been shared. Acha, I did. Wait. Acha, I've shared part B again. I haven't. Wait, let me share part B again. Okay, part B has been shared as well. Okay, so I've shared part B as well. I've shared the vocabulary. The other couple of things which people have requested, they will be shared tomorrow afternoon, inshallah. Because I am a little busy after the workshop. So tomorrow, definitely they will be shared. And paper 2 workshop will be tomorrow, same time, 8 to 9:30. And Wednesday, those people who are interested in another workshop, I mean, an additional session, we can do Wednesday same time as well. But that will be need basis, okay? Yes, Arisha.
Ma'am, will there be any sociology related workshop? Because there's like a lot of paper
Mhm.
pattern changings and we're very
Yeah.
confused about it.
Okay, so I do teach sociology and I did offer a workshop, but they said that we don't have a lot of students for sociology. So Arisha, what we can do, sociology ke liye, if you talk to the admin, you can tell them that I am willing to do a workshop, even if it's 4 people, 2 people, I don't mind as long as I can help. And I have some of my own students as well who can join. So Arisha, just get in touch with me. We'll figure something out for you.
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, do you teach sociology online?
I do. I
in
do.
person?
I am teaching online these days.
Oh, are you offering any workshop except this one for sociology?
Sociology, we are doing kind of like starting a crash course with a certain group, but that is basically of my students who kind of join my, like they'll join me for a month and then throughout the month we'll complete the whole syllabus, kind of like that crash course. So if you
When will
would
you
be
start it?
interested in that, you can communicate with me and I can share the charges and the timings and everything with you. But you can let me know about that. There is something that I have planned for sociology.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Acha. Someone, Ji Aditi, go on.
Do you offer global perspectives?
Global perspectives, I am not teaching anyone currently because it's basically something that you only have to give through your school or college. But yes, I do teach global perspectives and research. However, I don't teach it online because unless there is someone who requested, but your school ke through hi hota hai na, you do need a school or a college for that. But I do teach global perspectives and research. How do we get added to the workshop group chat? So Arif, you'll have to share your number with, if you have a friend here, you can share them with me. They can add a request, or I have shared my number as well. You can basically message me your number on WhatsApp and I can add you to the group. Okay? Okay. So we are going to end it here. Don't worry if you still have queries. We are coming back tomorrow and then Wednesday as well, inshallah. We'll take out 1.5 hours. So we will try to get as many things done as possible. Okay. So you may leave for now. Don't worry. We will see what we can do for you tomorrow and then Wednesday. Okay. All the best, everybody. And I will see you guys tomorrow, inshallah.